Hello everyone. For today's activity, you're going to need your MyView Literacy Book 1.2. This is the first time we're using this book. If you have this book, go ahead and get it now. Otherwise, you can follow along with me. Open your book to page 12 and 13. This is an infographic. An infographic means that it is pictures with words. Let's take a look at some of our graphic features. I can see that I have labels, I have pictures, and I have headings. Let's get started. It says, circle the name of each animal baby. Let's read about hedgehogs first. Hedgehog. A baby hedgehog is called a hoglet. The hoglet has small, white spikes that feel smooth. The mother is covered in long, hard spikes that feel prickly. What's the name of the baby animal? Right, a hoglet. How did I know it was a hoglet? It said in these words, a baby hedgehog is called a hoglet. I could also use the picture and labels to help me. I can see this is the baby and this is the mom. Hoglet, hedgehog. Let's go on to blue whales. Blue whale. A baby blue whale is called a calf. The calf weighs about 6,000 pounds when it is born. Even though the calf is big, its mother is much bigger. Circle the name of the baby animal. A baby blue whale is called a calf. I can also see that my picture is labeled calf, whale, so the calf is the baby. Let's go on to panda. A baby panda is called a cub. It is very small compared to its mother. The cub is pink and the size of a stick of butter. Circle the name of the baby animal. Cub. I can see that cub is small and the mama panda is big. The baby panda is called cub. This is how I know cub is the right word. How do animals grow and change? How did all of these animals change? From the baby hoglet to the hedgehog, from the whale to the calf, from the cub to the panda, I can see we go from small to big. Small to big, small to big. So everything is growing bigger. Now turn to page 24 and 25. Informational text. I can read informational text. An informational text tells about a real person, place, or thing. It has a main idea or central idea. Our title says, from eggs to butterflies. Our main idea, a butterfly goes through 4 stages, and our supporting details, first it is an egg, next it is a caterpillar, then it builds a chrysalis. Finally, it is a butterfly. Let's look at our anchor chart for informational text. Informational texts have titles that name the topic, such as here, from egg to butterfly. That is telling us our topic. We're going to read from egg to butterfly. Then it has the main idea. What is the text mostly about? That was our first sentence here. A butterfly goes through 4 stages. Then we have our details. Our details tell more about the main idea. They go under the umbrella. Here we had our details. They tell us more about our main idea that a butterfly goes through 4 stages. Our story for this week is called The Life of a Frog. The vocabulary words we're going to see are eggs, frog, gills, and tadpole. While we read, we need to read to learn about frogs. Look at the photos to help you understand the text. Ask yourself questions to help you learn information, and talk about the text with a partner. Meet the author. Rene Salandra Jr. is a teacher. He writes books for children. When he was a boy, His nickname was Froggy. Why do you think he wrote about frogs? Maybe. I think because his nickname was Froggy, he probably liked frogs, and that's probably why he wrote this book. Let's get started. A frog changes many times as it grows. A frog starts out as an egg. A mother frog lays many eggs in the pond. Underline the words that tell you what the main or central idea is in this text. What is our main idea going to be for this text? Right, a frog changes. Now we're going to look for details as we read. Did you see any details so far to tell us that a frog changes? Well, on this page it told us that a frog starts out as an egg. I can see that an egg looks very different than a grown-up frog, so I know it has to change to become that. After a few days, an egg hatches. A baby frog is born. The baby frog is called a tadpole. Look at the tadpole now. It has a wiggly tail to help it swim. Here's some pictures of our tadpoles. Here's the tail. It's labeled. What does the word hatches mean? Which word helps you figure out what hatches mean? Well, I know that the tadpole started out as an egg. Now they're not an egg because it says the egg hatches. How do I know what hatches means? Well, it hatches means that the baby frog comes out of the egg because the baby frog is born. So hatches means that something is coming out of an egg to be born. The tadpole has gills on its body. The gills help it breathe underwater. Gills. Look at the tadpole now. It has back legs. Its gills are gone. It will be hopping soon. Highlight the body part that the tadpole uses to breathe. Use the text and pictures to help you. Well, I can see it has gills here, and up here it says the gills help it breathe underwater. Now the tadpole has front legs. It has lungs to breathe the air too. Look at the tadpole now. Its tail is shorter. Its legs are longer. It looks more like a frog. Highlight the words that tell how the tadpole has changed. Use the text and pictures. Well, I'm going to look back here and it says now the tadpole has front legs. It has lungs to breathe. I know the tadpole had gills to breathe, and now it has lungs. I can also see that the tadpole has grown front legs. Looking over here, I can see that this tadpole's tail is now a lot shorter and that its legs are a lot longer. It looks so much like a frog, it almost looks like it could hop out. Look at the frog. It is ready to come onto land. In spring, the frog will go back to the pond. Then it will lay its own eggs. Highlight the most important thing the frog will do in spring. So what's the most important thing that this frog is going to do in spring? Right, it will lay its own eggs. Why is it important that the frog lays its own eggs? Because if it doesn't, we won't have any more frogs. For your assignment today, you're going to be filling out page 40 and 41. Find the main idea. The main idea is what an informational text is mostly about. What is the life of a frog mostly about? Look back at the text. the main idea of the life of a frog is, you need to figure that out. If you look back at the text, we already underlined it here. A frog changes. So you can write that right here. The main idea of the life of a frog is frogs changing. Make sure you put a period at the end. How do you know that that is the main idea? So how do we know that that's our main idea? Well, the story told us, but if I go back, I can also see in the pictures that this frog is changing a lot. I can also see in the words that tell me more about how the frog is changing. It's hatching, it has a tail, it's using gills to breathe, it's growing legs, it now has lungs, its tail is getting shorter. Now it can hop out on the land. So those are all details that you can write for how you know that that is the main idea. Find important details. Supporting evidence or details is the most important pieces of information about a main idea. Draw an important detail that supports the main idea. Look back at the text. So for this page, you need to look back at the text and find one detail that tells you how the frogs are changing. Then you need to draw a picture and write words to label it. You could write about the frogs as eggs changing into tadpoles, or growing a tail, or having gills, growing legs, their tails getting shorter. You could even draw two pictures with an arrow saying that first it has a tail and then it grows legs. That's all for this story. Don't forget to do the seesaw activity. Bye!